I'm presenting Oh Boy, which is a black and white film that I co-produced with another Berlin-based company by the director and writer Jan-Ole Gerste. And Oh Boy is a film about a guy who's looking for his place in the world, basically, but here it's our town, it's Berlin. And we follow him for 24 hours through one day and one night, while he's basically just by accident bumping into situations that eventually and maybe will change his life. And you could say that, or you could consider him as a loser because he doesn't really fit into this world where he lives. But I think he's just, he's a bit aimless. He's not really a loser. He just hasn't found his spot yet. And so in the end, it's not clear. Maybe he finds his place, but he's at least a step further towards the goal. Now our generation, builds on what our parents have achieved so far. So we are not in this, okay, I'm going to a new country and I'm poor. We are now, let's say, well situated in a way. Maybe not the richest people in the world, but we already built on whatever our parents have not left us, but were brought up with us. When I was thinking about what can I study, I had exactly the same explanation to my parents back then. I said, it's so hard to find something like a goal that you want to achieve, because one thing are these materialistic goals, saying, okay, I want a car, I want a job, I want a paycheck, but this doesn't really, and this is our new generation, it's not really fulfilling. Now we are trying to find something that on the one hand pays the rent, but this is not the most important thing anymore. You want personal freedom, you want personal fulfillment, you want spiritual fulfillment within your work. You want that your work is not only producing money, but also is good for the world. You want to save the world basically, and put this all in one pot. And it was different for our parents in our parents' generation. So we are basically stuck now. That on the one hand you still have to pay stuff. Everything costs money, and even more than before. And on the other hand, we are not, at least our generation, what I found out, is not that much willing to just dive into the system and be a robot for the system. We are, discovering things, asking about it. Coming back to Berlin, to Oh Boy, to Nico Fischer, he's just lost. And I think many in our generation are lost. And in fact, this is the feedback we got from one thing from the generation who used to be like Nico Fischer. So there were some people that are now in their mid-30s that have family, and they said, 5 years ago I was like Nico Fischer. Or the generation of my parents, and I remember when my mother celebrated her 60th birthday, her friends came to me and said, my son or my daughter is like Nico Fischer. So on the one hand you have the ones who are Nico Fischer, on the other hand you have the parents of the Nico Fischers. So in a way there are probably more Nico Fischers out there than I could have ever imagined. When we released the film 1st of November, and we had an amazing release on the first week, and we kind of knew that all our expectations were wrong. And the good thing is that we underestimated the film. So we were always surprised until today, basically. Today we are more confident about the film. It's not that we think, do we have a chance or do we don't have a chance? But we were blown away by the success. We still are, actually.